The Philippines is no stranger to political drama, a grand stage where the lines between governance and spectacle often blur. In this theater, few figures have captured the nation's attention as intensely as Vice President Sara Duterte. The daughter of a former president, she herself is a formidable political force, carrying a name that evokes both staunch loyalty and fierce opposition. Her journey from the mayoral seat of Davao City to the second highest office in the land was a testament to her family's enduring influence. But today, on July 30th, 2025, her career stands at a critical crossroads. Defined not by her policy achievements, but by an impeachment process that has shaken the very foundations of the current administration and captivated Filipinos from all walks of life. At the core of this political firestorm are the formal articles of impeachment, a list of grave accusations that compelled the House of Representatives to act. The charges are not minor. They strike at the heart of public trust and the responsibilities of a high-ranking official. The first and perhaps most explosive charge is the allegation of plotting to assassinate President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. This accusation stemmed from a public statement made by the vice president herself, where she spoke of contracting an assassin to target the president, his wife, and the House Speaker. Beyond the assassination plot, the impeachment complaint delves deep into allegations of corruption and the misuse of public funds. A significant portion of the case centers on the vice president's handling of confidential and intelligence funds, CIF. The articles of impeachment also include broader accusations related to her alleged involvement in extrajudicial killings and incitement to insurrection. These are grave claims that paint a picture of an official not just misusing funds, but actively working against the democratic order she swore to protect. When examining the charges, the most sensational claim revolves around the alleged assassination plot. The primary piece of evidence is a direct quote from Sara Duterte herself. During an online news conference on November 23rd of the previous year, she explicitly stated she had arranged for an assassin to kill President Marcos, the First Lady, and House Speaker Martin Romualdez, should any harm come to her. The evidence for the corruption charges is more technical but equally compelling for those who support the impeachment. The House investigation into the confidential and intelligence funds, CIF, produced documents and testimonies that raised serious red flags. Public reaction to these accusations has been deeply divided, mirroring the country's polarized political landscape. Supporters of Vice President Duterte have largely dismissed the charges as fabricated or wildly exaggerated. It is impossible to analyze the impeachment of Sara Duterte without considering the towering political backdrop against which it is set, the dramatic and public falling out between the Duterte and Marcos clans. What began as a powerful uniteam alliance that secured a landslide victory in the 2022 elections has since devolved into a bitter feud. Sara Duterte has made no secret of her potential presidential ambitions for 2028, positioning herself as a natural successor. From this perspective, the impeachment can be seen as a calculated move by the Marcos camp to sideline its most formidable future opponent before she can gain more momentum.
What does the traditional cooperative structure look like? Chief executive or...
The political motivations appear even clearer when one considers the timing and the key players involved. Proponents of the political motivation theory point to the fact that many of the leading voices calling for her removal are close allies of President Marcos and House Speaker Martin Romualdez, his cousin. Just as the political drama was reaching its climax, with the Senate poised to begin its trial, the judicial branch of government made a decisive intervention. In a stunning and unanimous 13-0 decision, the Supreme Court barred the impeachment proceedings against Vice President Sara Duterte. The ruling was not about her guilt or innocence regarding the charges of corruption or making assassination threats. Instead, it was based on a crucial constitutional technicality known as the one-year bar rule. This decision was a significant victory for the Duterte camp, but the Supreme Court was careful to frame its ruling narrowly. Critics and opponents of the vice president were dismayed, viewing the decision as a legal loophole that allowed a powerful official to evade accountability. Before the Supreme Court's intervention, all eyes were on the Senate, the body constitutionally mandated to act as the jury in an impeachment trial. The senators were tasked with the solemn duty of rendering a verdict on the vice president's fitness for office. However, even before the trial could commence, the chamber was already showing signs of deep division, with many senators publicly expressing their doubts and reservations about the case. Vice President Duterte remains a highly popular figure and a frontrunner for the 2028 presidential election. This hesitation within the Senate underscores a fundamental challenge to justice in the Philippines. It highlights how the pursuit of truth can be hampered by political considerations and the powerful influence of political dynasties. Political observers and legal experts have been deeply engaged in dissecting the impeachment saga, offering varied perspectives on whether it represents a legitimate exercise of accountability or a politically motivated attack. Analyst Aries Erugay, for instance, noted that the Supreme Court's decision to halt the trial on a technicality could bolster a sense of impunity. Another prominent expert, Richard Haydarian, commented on the political implications of the Supreme Court's delay. He argued that the idea of refiling the impeachment complaint after a year is not politically feasible. In his view, impeachment is all about momentum, public attention, and political inertia. This expert commentary highlights the broader concern that the impeachment process itself has been weaponized. The entire episode is seen by some as a spectacle of partisanship that does little to address the deeper systemic issues plaguing the country. The impeachment of Sara Duterte has served as a powerful litmus test for the state of Philippine democracy, revealing deep fissures in public opinion and exposing the raw nerves of the nation's political psyche. In the final analysis, the question of whether Sara Duterte's impeachment was about legitimate accountability or a political power play does not have a simple answer. The truth, as is often the case in the complex world of Philippine politics, lies somewhere in the messy intersection of both. The path forward for the Philippines requires more than just resolving this single case. It demands a deeper commitment to strengthening democratic institutions so they can withstand the pressures of partisan politics and deliver true accountability for all.